Dear students, welcome to the second podcast of Chapter 3 in the Earliest Cities. In this podcast, we will learn about our next topic, new crafts in the city. Most of the things that have been found by archaeologists are made of stone, shell, and metal, including copper, bronze, gold, and silver. Copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapons, ornaments, and vessels. Gold and silver were used to make ornaments and vessels. Perhaps the most striking finds are those of beads, weights, and plates. The Harappans also made seals out of stone. These are generally rectangular and usually have an animal carved on them. The Harappans also made pots with beautiful black designs. Cotton was probably grown at Mehergarh from about 7,000 years ago. Actual pieces of cloth were found attached to the lid of a silver vase and some copper objects at Mohenjo-daro. Archaeologists have also found spindle wheels made of terracotta and faience. These were used to spin thread. Many of the things that were produced were probably the work of specialists. A specialist is a person who is trained to do only one kind of work. For example, cutting stone or polishing beads or carving seals. Not everybody could have been a specialist. Perhaps some women and men may have been specialists. Now, a closer look. Harappan towns in Gujarat. The city of Dholavira was located on Khadar Beth in the run of Kutch, where there was fresh water and fertile soil. Unlike some of the other Harappan cities, which were divided into two parts, Dholavira was divided into three parts, and each part was surrounded with massive stone walls, with entrances through gateways. There was also a large open area in the settlement, where public ceremonies could be held. Other finds include large letters of the Harappan script that were carved out of white stone and perhaps inlaid in wood. This is a unique find, as generally Harappan writings has been found on small objects such as seals. Now, the next is the city of Lothal. Stood beside a tributary of the Sabarmati in Gujarat, close to the Gulf of Khambat. It was situated near areas where raw materials such as semi-precious stones were easily available. This was an important center for making objects out of stone, shell, and metal. There was also a storehouse in the city. Many seals and sealings were found in this storehouse. Now, the next topic is the mystery of the end. Around 3,900 years ago, we find the beginning of a major change. People stopped living in many of the cities. Writing seals and weights were no longer used. Raw materials brought from long distances became rare. In Mohenjo-daro, we find that garbage piled up on the streets. The drainage system broke down and new, less impressive houses were built even over the streets. Why did all this happen? We are not sure, but some scholars suggest that the rivers dried up. Others suggest that there was deforestation. This could have happened because fuel was required for baking bricks and for smelting copper ores. Besides grazing by large herds of cattle, sheep, and goat may have destroyed the green cover. In some areas there were floods, but none of these reasons can explain the end of all the cities. Flooding or a river drying up would have had an effect in only some areas. It appears as if the rulers lost control. In any case, the effects of the change are quite clear. Sites in Sindh and West Punjab, that is, in present-day Pakistan, were abandoned, while many people moved into new and smaller settlements to the east and the south.